Good morning, everyone. My name is Heath Goodwin. I'm the tournament director of May the Course Be With You 2021. We're going to go over today, we're going to go over our sponsors, our rules, the layouts, and what we're looking forward to tomorrow. Main tournament sponsors are Goodwin Heating and Air Conditioning, Local Joe's Trading Post, and Trey Regazi. We also have tournament sponsors from the Flying Dragon Disc Golf Club, and we have CTP sponsors, Cookies by Allison, Monkey Grip Dies, and Disc Golf and Pour. So let's get into it at first about the CTPs. We're going to have 8 each round, so that means a 16 total CTPs. So when you get up to the hole, it'll say CTP hole. It'll be right there near the tee box. So that way you know which holes are actually CTP holes when you get there, and we'll actually change the signs in between rounds to coordinate with the new holes. Also, if you're starting on a CTP hole, right by the tee box, you'll have a flag and you'll have a bag with a note card and a pin in it. So after you tee off, whoever's closest to the pin on that hole will put it down. And then after that, each hole you get to, just make sure you look and see if there's a CTP sign. Like I said, we have 16 prizes, or 16 CTP holes. Local Joe's has done a little gift bag, 2 of those. Cookies by Allison has done 4 trays of cookies with 6 cookies in each tray. We have several discs. Disc Golf and Pour did a special Star Wars mini. Monkey Grip Dies has donated 2 hats. The Rainbow City Disc Golf Club, or the Southern Woodpeckers Disc Golf Club, has donated a couple discs from the last tournament they held. So I've never been a part of a tournament that's had this many CTPs, so it should be a whole lot of fun. So let's get into the layouts. On the disc golf scene, we have a picture of the layouts, and there's only been one change of that, and I will be sending emails out. That way we can know the change. But we don't have any open players, so advanced players will play both rounds from the pro layout, with exception of holes 4, 8, 10, and 13. All those will be played from the AM pads. So again, the advanced will play both rounds from the pro layout except for 4, 8, 10, and 13. Then we have our B pool, which is all other divisions besides novice women and juniors. And they will play from the pro pads the first round. This is the B pool. This is everyone except for the juniors and the novice women. They will play from the pro pads except for the holes 4, 8, 10, 13, and 18. Those will all be played from the AM pads or the shorter tee pads. Again, that will be the MA50, the MA60, MA2, MA3, MA4. They will all be playing from the pro layout the first round, except for holes 4, 8, 10, 13, and 18. For the first and second round for both of the juniors and the novice women, they will be playing the short pads, the AM pads, except for hole 12, which both rounds they'll play from long for hole 12. So that's the novice women and the junior divisions will be playing short both rounds. That's the AM pads, except for hole 12, which will be played from the pro pad. Now the second round for the B pool, which again is the MA50, MA60, MA2, MA3, and MA4, they will be playing the same short pads as the juniors and the novice women, which would be again all the short pads or the AM pads except for hole 12, which will be played from the pro for all divisions. So let's get into the OB. So hole 1 will be you're out of bounds if you're completely surrounded by water in the pond or completely surrounded by water in the creek. Hole 2, on or over walking track, completely on track. If any part of the disc is touching inbounds, you're inbounds. If you're completely surrounded by water in the creek, you're also out of bounds. Hole 3, on or over the walking track, or completely surrounded by water in the creek. Hole 4, completely surrounded by water in the creek. Or if you throw it far enough to the right and get over the walking path, on or over the walking path, you're also OB. Hole 5, no OB. Hole 6, the Mando is not in play, and you have to be completely surrounded by water in the creek. Hole 7, on or over walking track, or completely surrounded by water in the creek. Hole 8, on or over walking track. Hole 9, on or over walking track, or completely surrounded by water in the creek. Hole 10, completely surrounded by water in the creek. Hole 11, on the baseball field, is OB. All water on that hole is casual. Hole 12, on the baseball field, is OB. Completely surrounded by concrete, OB, except for 13's pro pad. All pads, if you happen to land on another hole's pad, is inbounds. Or if you're completely surrounded by the water in the ditch on hole 12. 13, completely surrounded by concrete, is OB, or completely surrounded by water in the ditch. 14, on or over the walking track. All ditches on hole 14 are casual relief. 15, on or over the walking track. All ditches on 15 are also casual. 16, on or over the walking track. All ditches are casual as well on 16. 17, if you're playing from the pro pad on 17, which would be the first round for the first and second round for the A pool and the first round for the B pool, completely surrounded by concrete on the walking track or completely surrounded by water in the pond. The walking track from the pro pad plays as a river. So it doesn't matter if you're on the left or right side of it if you're playing from the pro pad. The AM pad, which would be the B pool second round, or the novice women or novice juniors when you're playing from the AM pad, on or over the walking track, is out of bounds or completely surrounded by water in the pond. 18, on or over walking path or on pavilion, that includes on the roof or on the concrete, is out of bounds. If you're completely surrounded by water in the pond, or if you're completely surrounded by water in the creek. Disc are taken where the disc was last in bounds. Example, if the disc hits the land near the pavilion and falls back in, you're able to take your disc up there with a one-stroke penalty. We also are doing for the C pool, which would be the novice women or the juniors, if you throw 2 drives in the pond, you get to proceed to a drop zone, which will be right in front of the pavilion that will be marked with some red flags. Again, that's for the juniors and the novice women only. If you throw 2 drives in the pond, you proceed to the drop zone near the pavilion, and you'll be playing your 5th shot. Because you'll be in 1, out 2, throwing 3, then in 3, out 4, throwing 5 from the drop zone. We also have discussed the bridges. Any bridges that are over the water, if you're on the step of the bridge where you still have land below the bridge, then you're considered inbounds. If you're in the middle of the bridge where you're completely surrounded by water up underneath it, then you're out of bounds. If there's any questions or anything regarding if something's inbounds or out of bounds, just play a provisional, play it both ways, and then either see me, Kaz, or Josh, the 2 assistant TDs, take a picture of it, show it to us, and we'll make the ruling on that. I hope everybody has a good time. There is a 5K that is starting at 8 o'clock that morning. That's why we pushed our tee times back a little bit. We won't start until 9:30. So they still might have some walkers or stuff going on out there. So please be mindful for that. Always make sure it's clear before you throw. So again, starting time's 9:30. The whole assignments already are online. But if we have some people not being able to show up, then we might have to move some people around. That way we have at least 3 people on every card. So the packet pickup time is from 8:15 to 9:30. we hope you get there a little bit quicker because we have myself and the assistant TDs are playing in it. So hopefully we can get everything wrapped up 10 minutes before the start time so we can get out there to our respective holes. So again, thank you for choosing to come play our tournament. I hope you have a good time. Again, start time is at 9:30. We will have a strict 1 hour lunch from the time the last card is turned in. We'll play our second round. All the holes, starting holes will be assigned then, and then we'll have our awards afterwards. Again, we would like to thank our sponsors, our tournament sponsors, main sponsors, Goodwin Heating and Air Conditioning, Local Joe's Trading Post, and Trey Regazi. Also, hole sponsor, the Flying Dragon Disc Golf Club, and our CTP sponsors, Cookies by Allison, Monkey Grip Dies, Disc Golf and Pour. So, again, thank y'all, and play safe, and we'll see you in the morning. Thanks.